Hello, and welcome. Sorry that last week's recording didn't get saved anywhere. I'm going to own that I probably didn't hit the record button. So I'm going to redo week 4, and then later tonight I'll go home and I will I'll do week 5 recording. So bear with me. So week 4, the basis was about finding gratitude for the ickier stuff of life, right? I find it's really easy to find gratitude when everything is great. When you're going along and your job's great and your kids are being good and everybody's enjoying, then it's a lot easier, I feel like, to find gratitude. But the shift in weeks 4 and 5 of the workshop, and then the work that really needs to be done, is finding gratitude for like the heavier stuff, the hard stuff, the quote bad stuff. I don't think anything's bad. I think it all helps us learn and grow, but it's hard to get to that point where you really do realize that. A lot of the spiritual people call it dark night of the soul. And that's really the greatest time in our life, even though it's so hard in the moment, it really is the greatest learning for us. So in week 4, what I'm asking you to do is, at the end of the day, or like say you have a tough work day and you get home and you're just like, oh, I don't want to work. Give me a bottle of wine or give me a whatever just forget about it. That doesn't deal with the problem. You're not growing from it. You're not avoiding it for the next day. You still have to go back to that place tomorrow and deal with whatever it is that is hanging over your head. So if we can learn some coping strategies, in which I think this is a really good one, it helps shift the energy around that space or around that person or around that thing, that task that you have to do that is so dumb, or whatever it is that is bugging you. If we can shift the energy around it, then we can really shift how we show up the next time we have to do it. Okay. And that's really the goal, is to shift our mindset so that we can still find cohesiveness and happiness and calm, peaceful energy around the things that used to pick us off. Right. So for the week 4, I'd like you to think about it after the fact. So go get home, unwind a little, have a cup of tea, do a yoga flow, whatever, to kind of just shift into home space. First of all, separating energies from the thing that's bothering you, and your home should always happen. If the ick is in your home, then I don't know, you can stage the hell out of it, whatever you need to do. But you really want to shift the energy before you bring it into your home space. And we'll talk about what to do if it's at your home later. But then once you've done that, I want you to look back over the day and think about where you can find gratitude in those moments, for those moments. I realized that my boss pissed me off because she expects me to do more work for less money, or my employee my coworker doesn't do anything, and yet I'm over here busting my butt, and then I get yelled at for it not being done. Whatever the it is that you're ticked about, I want you to somehow find gratitude. Maybe I can say, oh, well, I'm doing all this extra work. I can put that on my performance review paperwork so that I can ask for a raise. I'm grateful for that, because if it was my coworker who isn't asked to do anything, they're not the one that's going to get the promotion. Whatever. You put those pieces together so that you can truly pull that gratitude out of it. Okay, I'm dealing with this tough coworker who likes to push my buttons, whatever. I can be grateful for that because I'm learning patience, and I've been struggling with my ability to be patient. Or I'm learning how to be a manager so that I can then get that raise. I'll show that I have been able to deal with difficult coworkers. Everybody knows those coworkers, the ones that are paying everybody's butt. So you're not the only one. Whatever. So using those things, whatever it is, and try to pull out. Maybe you had a fight with your kids, and now you think about it and you say, well, I could have approached this differently. I could show up from a more patient point of view, perspective, and try to see what's really ailing them, because usually it's not really whatever they're upset about. So that is the true reason they're upset. And you can start digging in that way. It's like you're playing detective. But all that to shift the energy around it. And I'm telling you, when you for the first few times, you might have to tell yourself you're grateful and you might not really believe it. But once you start to really, really believe and feel that energy of gratitude, that heart cracking open energy, and it might be helpful to come to the morning meditations on the weekends because we do a lot of heart opening stuff. Um, Once you feel that energy shift, you go into that coworker and all of a sudden they're not a pain in the ass. And whether that's just you're not bothered by the triviality of it anymore, like you used to be, or they just avoid you because now it's not bugging you, like toddlers when the big brother bugs the little one and you tell the little one, if you didn't respond, they wouldn't do it anymore because it's boring. It's so true. Adults aren't any different. Maybe a little bit more mature in how they deal with it, but probably not so much. So I know I'm rambling a bit, but the goal is to, at the end of the day, go back over the stuff that was bugging you, sit with it, disconnect from it. If you have to do a meditation, there are plenty that we've been doing about how to disconnect, untangle from the ugh. We just did one the other day, which I think would be really good with this workshop, about letting the thoughts go, because they're what holds us back. If I assume I'm going to go into work and that coworker's going to be an asshole, they're going to be an asshole. Even if they're not, if no one else sees it except for you, you're going to see them being an asshole because your perspective hasn't changed. Your energy hasn't changed around that situation. And we need to start taking responsibility for that as adults. We need to start teaching our children how to deal with that when they're young, so that they can control that situation as they grow into adulthood. So, excuse me, can't believe I'm still coughing. But yeah. So try to do that at the end of the day. Don't try to tackle it in the moment until you're really good at finding that gratitude. Week 5 is going to be trying to deal with it in the moment. And I think that's more like week 40. After you've been doing this work for a long time and you get really comfortable with just shifting into gratitude, then I think you're ready for week 5, or not you, but we as collectively. But it's hard. Again, I mention every week in the workshop, I just put it as weeks for the sake of a workshop. Take it as long as you need to really get good at these practices. Sometimes I have to go back to week 1 where I'm like, thank you for my pillow. Even though it's really uncomfortable, it's a pillow, and sometimes you just have to go backwards, and that's okay. So for this week, homework. Reflect back on your day. Think of any part that was less than comfortable. It doesn't have to be full out bad. It doesn't have to be like I got in a fist fight out in the parking lot. Like that would be really bad, right? It could be just, I get irritated every time that, like for teachers, you have that one student who just gets under your skin. They're doing you a huge service by getting under your skin. It's giving you the awareness of what it is that you need to heal. And ultimately, that's what we come to when we do this work, is we see that healing. We are able to do that healing. If we need support from coaching, that's what I do. I help people get to the foundation of those broken spaces within us, those wounded spaces within us, help us heal them up. And then that person isn't going to trigger you anymore. Some of my favorite people are the people who took me the lowest in my life, because I now realize how important they were to my healing and my growth. And so that is a goal, to get to that point where we can have great love for all of it. And when we have great love for all of it, then we really truly love ourselves. And then we're just these little loving light beings that walk around. So, and that to me is what, quote, enlightenment is. I don't like that term per se, because I feel like people put a religious connotation on it a lot. Whereas I feel like it's just lightening up. We're being lighter. We're being happier. We're being more peaceful with what is. And I'm saying this week because this last week for me has been kind of one of those, I haven't been being as grateful as I should be. I haven't been being as settled and as peaceful and as happy and loving, which is why I'm losing my voice. But it all goes full circle, and then it gets into our physical body and our physical health. And it all works together to show us how to be lighter and more complete. So give that a try this week. Journal on it, pop into the group and talk about what comes up for you. Like, oh, I really don't want to be finding gratitude for this person I can't stand. And we'll help support you because it really is work worth doing. It really does shift enormous things in life. These little tasks that we do, simple but not easy. Excuse me. Yeah, have some water. Simple but not easy really can shift our lives hugely, absolutely hugely. So give it a try, pop in the group, put some, what comes up for you. And then I will post week 5 later. I will make the recording and then get that up. Sorry again about losing this one. It was a good one last week too, but hopefully I did it some justice this week with my ramblings a little bit. But thank you, and good luck. I'm telling you, this work it's huge. And every person I start working with, I started gratitude because I think it's the simplest way to shift our energy in a space that can be healing to everyone that we run into. If I'm walking around in gratitude, people around me can't help but to feel that. They can't. I'm telling you, I've been telling my coworkers the last few weeks because we're in a tipped industry that every shift I've been working, I've been making a ton of money. And I'm like, it's because people feel my grateful energy. I'm grateful they're there handing me money for doing a job that isn't that difficult. So, and they feel it and they're grateful too, because they want to be around it. And your kids will be grateful. Your pets will be grateful. Your asshole coworkers will be grateful. And you'll just see really cool shifts. So give it a try. I promise it's worth it. If you need help working through it, please let me know, because that's really what I'm good at. And that's what I do. And so, yeah, have a great day, great week. And I will post week 5 later and talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.